Gun, the SVD Dragunov. Now that I've fired it, I can tell you quickly, this thing rocks. It has good performance, in that it will not, it's very accurate. So, that barrel right there, sorry, precise, I should say, because accurate, I guess, is not the word. You still need to adjust your aim. But it will fire in the same place most of the time. So, really the only reason it wouldn't is because the ammunition would be inconsistent. So that's like the only real performance downside, is that if you use bad, cheaper, lighter ammunition, you're not going to get like the perfect performance. And even when you use this, no gun's perfect. You might have one with dust on it or something. So overall, I love this thing. It's awesome. The reload, a word about that. So when you reload it, you don't want to do the regular AK thing unless you're in close range and you need to reload that mag like ASAP, because it's loud. Instead, you want to do a very quiet removal and reinstallation of the magazine, because then if you're a sniper, you don't want to be heard. You're not going to be heard if you reload like that. And ideally, you would also be careful. Why is this bolt so hard to pull back every time? Every time. There we go. So the bolt pull is still very hard, and I would recommend padding it with something like this piece of leather. It was on there, but then I broke the zip tie because I tried to put it on too tight. Anyhow, so it's good to pad this bolt handle because it's super hard to do. Dust cover will come off, and I will show you where you adjust the hop up. So clockwise, I think that goes down. Yeah, if you go clockwise, if you go clockwise, the hop up goes down. Counterclockwise, the hop up goes up, I think. That should be right. I'm not sure. It's in the manual, so if you get this, you'll know. It's not that hard, but the problem is that you just need a tiny little Allen key to do that, so I'm not really a fan of Allen keys. However, great performance. I had feeding problems at first. So there's the place where this part right here, that's the breech sort of, and also the entire barrel assembly here moves forward if the piece is slammed like that, if you let it go, or if you did not cock it all the way, and then the entire force of both springs slams it. That's definitely going to move the barrel and the hop up. So I took some felt pads that you'd put on the bottom of furniture, and I put them in there with the sticky side on there so that it would cushion it, so it makes it quieter when this thing is hitting that. Also, it makes enough space that it will not jam anymore. So that's awesome. The thing, it sounds so cool. It sounds like just raw power screaming from this thing. The spring, I've noticed, is already pre-tensioned, so you're getting more power for the same amount of spring, which is awesome. Scope, I put a scope on this, and you can see these little pieces where the paint is sort of rubbed off. That's because I taped it there, because I didn't have any Picatinny mounts for it, and I was not going to buy the crazy actual SVD scope because the thing costs as much as the gun does. So instead, I think I'm going to buy some Picatinny, or find some somewhere, and then I'm actually just going to bolt it to the dust cover. That way I can put a scope on it, and it'll be lower profile than the Picatinny attachment, than the actual standard one. So that'll be cool. Lower profile is always good. Other things to mention. It's awesome. It's comparably not as heavy as a lot of other full metal guns, mostly because the only actual metal parts that have to be on there is this part. If you took everything except for the metal away, you would be left with the forward barrel shroud here, which is, I think, metal. Is it even metal? I don't know if that's even metal. I think it's metal. It feels like metal. Yeah, it's metal. Okay, so the forward barrel shroud, so that'd be like this part and that, and I don't know if the flash, I think this is plastic. No, that's metal too. Okay, so this whole part right here, and then this. And of course the little thin barrel in between. This whole part and this part would be gone. The whole thing, it says in the manual it weighs 3 kilograms. I'm not really sure if that's right or wrong. I haven't actually weighed it myself because it doesn't really matter how much it weighs. I mean, like, if I can carry it, I can carry it. If I can't, then I can't. So yeah, great performance, fantastic rifle, very accurate, sorry, precise, don't want to get those confused, because accurate means it's hitting the center of the target, precise means it's hitting the same place every time, and each rifle, most rifles cannot be both precise and accurate. Usually there has to be some human intervention to make it precise, more precise or more accurate, depending on what it is already predispositioned to. So this rifle, I think it shoots pretty hard, and I think this particular one, I'm sure it's different for every one, but it shoots slightly up and to the right. So you have to adjust for that, but it shoots like that every time. So that way you can actually know where you have to aim based on what it was doing before. So it's very consistent, and that makes it easier to aim with. The magazines have great capacity. You're probably not going to go through those very fast. I mean, you are a sniper after all, so it's a very, it just looks awesome, and I really like it. So I guess that's my review of it after I've fired it, which is probably more valuable than my review of before. It still has basically all the same stuff that I did last time to it, except for, with the addition of a couple more felt pads. So I love it. It's awesome. And I'm Evan, and I will see you guys next time. Goodbye!